Hi. I'm Walter, 32, and the first time my life exploded, it happened before I even knew I was holding the dynamite. I was 17. Working part-time at an auto body shop, saving up for community college, minding my own business. I thought my biggest stress in life was whether my Civic would make it through another Arizona summer without bursting into flames. Then my cousin Ashley, 15 years old, volleyball star, straight-A student, expert manipulator, got caught sneaking out to meet some senior guy. Instead of taking responsibility like a normal human being, she did the thing that would finally prove to me that sociopaths aren't just TV characters. She blamed me. When I got home that night, sweaty from work and still wearing my stupid uniform shirt with Walt embroidered on it like I was a mechanic from a sitcom, I thought I'd shower and play Call of Duty. Instead, I walked into a witch trial. My aunt and uncle were sitting in our living room like they'd just been told their daughter had been kidnapped. Ashley was next to them, wrapped in a blanket, shaking, crying, performing the role of traumatized victim, with more commitment than a Broadway actress. My mom was wringing her hands. My dad looked like he was warming up for a homicide. Then Ashley looked at me with big watery eyes and said, "He's been texting me things. Sexual things. For months. Today he said he'd show everyone the screenshots if I didn't meet him." The room froze. My brain flatlined. I couldn't even speak for a full 5 seconds, which was apparently all the time everyone needed to decide I was guilty. My dad snatched my phone and flipped through it with the confidence of someone who'd already chosen the ending to the story and just wanted the supporting details. Ashley sniffled. He probably deleted them. And that was that. Her word, my silence, my stunned confusion, boom. Verdict delivered. "Pack your stuff," my dad said. "You're out of this house tonight." I barely remember the next half hour. Just flashes. My mom crying but never at me. My aunt thanking Ashley for being brave. My uncle calling me a monster under his breath. Me shoving my entire childhood into 2 trash bags. My dad telling me I was lucky he didn't call the cops. And then I was alone. In my Civic. In a Walmart parking lot. With $400, 2 garbage bags of clothes, and the sudden realization that the people who raised me would rather believe a terrified teenager's improvisation than take 5 seconds to ask their own son a question. That night broke something in me. But years later? Years later, when Ashley reappeared broke, bitter, and ready to blackmail me for $50,000? Let's just say the part of me that broke grew back sharp. This time, I wouldn't be the one getting destroyed. I lasted exactly 2 weeks in Phoenix after they kicked me out. 2 weeks of people staring at me like I was on some neighborhood watch list. 2 weeks of coworkers avoiding me because we heard things. 2 weeks of my girlfriend ghosting me, friends pretending they'd never known me, and older adults whispering whenever I walked by. One accusation was all it took. Didn't matter that it was a lie. Didn't matter I had no record, no history, no evidence against me. The story was better than the truth. People love fiction when it lets them feel morally superior. The final straw came in the most cinematic, humiliating way possible. I walked out of the gym one night and found someone had keyed one word deep into my Civic's driver's side door. Perv. Not even spelled right, which somehow made it worse. 5 people were standing 20 feet away. Nobody looked at me. Nobody admitted anything. I got in my car, put my forehead on the steering wheel, and realized I couldn't stay. I could either rot here under a lie or leave and pray the world was bigger than this stupid cul-de-sac. So I left. Emptied my bank account. Filled the tank. Drove east. Phoenix disappeared behind me like it had never been home. I passed the state line with $400, a crusty Civic, and the kind of anger that sits in your throat until it becomes survival. Austin was the first place that didn't spit me back out. I parked behind a 24-hour gym, bought the cheapest membership just to shower, and started hustling for cash. Moving furniture, unloading trucks, digging holes, anything that paid under the table and didn't ask for ID. The thing about being homeless at 17 is that no one suspects it if you keep your head down. You're not a middle-aged guy sleeping in his car. You're just a kid who looks tired. It's almost funny. Almost. By month 3, I'd saved enough to rent a room in a house with 4 other dudes. And by room, I mean a mattress on the floor in a converted dining room where the walls didn't go all the way to the ceiling. But it had air conditioning. And a door. So it felt like winning. The next year became this brutal, relentless grind. Construction during the day. GED classes at night. Fixing broken electronics on weekends to flip online for extra cash. It was ugly. It was exhausting. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done. But it was also the first time in my life I felt like I was finally becoming something. No family. No friends. No safety net. Just me, clawing upward one scraped knuckle at a time. By the time I was in my mid-20s, I'd gone from dirt poor to stable poor, which sounds terrible, but trust me, it's an upgrade. By the time I hit 30, I was running a full electronics repair and resale business, had employees, a house, and a fiancée named Hazel I actually planned on marrying. My life was finally clean. Quiet. Successful. Safe. Which, of course, is exactly when the past decided to kick down my door in the form of a phone call. A voice I hadn't heard since I was 17. "Hi, Walter. It's Ashley. We need to talk." I should have hung up. I didn't. And that was my mistake. The moment I heard her voice, every muscle in my body locked up. Ashley. 13 years older. Same tone. Same fake sweetness. Same venom underneath. I said, "Wrong number," and moved to hang up. She cut in fast. "Don't. Please. I've been looking for you for years." Yeah. That wasn't comforting. "How did you get this number?" I asked. "Oh, easy. Your business is registered publicly. You're doing pretty well, Walter. Torres Electronics. Cute little operation you've got going." Cute. My 7-year-old, built from nothing, blood, sweat, tears company was cute. I should have hung up. Instead, I said, "Say what you want and get off my phone." She sighed dramatically. It was like she'd practiced this speech in a mirror. "I'm in trouble," she said. "Real trouble. 2 kids, no help from their dads, rent doubled, daycare is insane. I'm drowning, Walter." I stayed silent. "And since your family," she added, "I figured you'd want to help." "Family?" My voice cracked. "You're joking." Then she said the line that flipped some deep, ancient switch inside me. "You owe me." I actually laughed. A sharp, ugly, what the hell laugh. "Oh, you, for what exactly?" "For not ruining you completely," she said, perfectly casual. "I kept the screenshots. I could have gone further. I didn't. You should be grateful." My vision tunneled. "You framed me," I said. "You destroyed my life." "You're fine now," she snapped. "Better than fine. That struggle made you stronger. You should thank me for that, honestly." She had no idea what she'd just done. I asked, "What do you want?" "I'm thinking, 50,000. I nearly dropped my phone. $50,000. I repeated, "Because you lied about me when you were 15? Oh, please. Don't be dramatic. 50 grand is nothing to you now. Just help me get back on my feet. It's the least you can do after everything I've lived with. And if I don't?" Then she said the one sentence that sent the entire trajectory of this story straight into the stratosphere. "Then I'll send Hazel the screenshots. And your employees. And your business contracts. I can tell them all what you did to me. Let them decide who they believe. Single mom of 2 kids? Or the guy with a secret past he never talks about?" I didn't breathe. "Your choice, Walter. Pay up or lose everything. You have until the end of the month." She hung up. I stood there in my garage, surrounded by open laptops and half-repaired consoles, and realized something terrifying. She wasn't bluffing. Ashley was the kind of person who would burn the world down for attention. And she had nothing left to lose. But she'd forgotten something. I wasn't 17 anymore. I wasn't helpless. I wasn't naive. I wasn't alone in a parking lot with trash bags of clothes. She thought I'd panic. She thought I'd fold. She thought I was still the kid she destroyed. She didn't know I'd spent 13 years becoming someone capable of ending her. Not legally. Not violently. Not with lies. With the truth. And I was about to make her choke on it. Hazel found out 3 days later. Not because I told her. Because Ashley beat me to it. I was in the garage doing a repair on a water-damaged gaming laptop when Hazel walked in, early, stiff, pale, holding her phone like it had bitten her. "Walter," she said. "We need to talk." Instant gut punch. "What happened?" She held up her phone with 2 fingers, like it was contaminated. "A woman named Ashley messaged me. I swear my heart actually stopped moving." Hazel's voice was low, shaking, not with fear. With disgust. "She sent me screenshots. She said you harassed her when she was 15. She said that's why you don't talk to your family. She said you threatened her." "It's fake," I said immediately. "Hazel, everything she sent you is fake." She cut me off like she was slicing through rope. "She told me you'd say that." "Of course she did." I stepped closer. Hazel stepped back. Not dramatically. Not theatrically. Just a small, instinctive step, like she was distancing herself from something poisonous. That hurt more than anything Ashley had ever done. "You never mentioned a cousin," Hazel said. "Or being kicked out at 17. Or losing your family. Or living in your car. Because it was a lie," I snapped. "Because I spent years trying to build a life away from it. And hiding it," she said. "That's what it feels like now. It's not hiding. It's trauma." She flinched like the word offended her. "Trauma isn't an excuse for secrecy." "It's not secrecy," I said. "It's survival." Hazel crossed her arms. "You have no relationship with your parents. You avoid talking about your past. Any time someone asks where you grew up, you change the subject. Now I know why." "No," I said. "You know Ashley's version. Not the truth." "Well, the truth doesn't usually come with this much smoke," she said softly. My voice cracked. "Hazel, you think I'm capable of assaulting my own cousin?" She didn't answer immediately. That pause, 1 second, maybe 2, was the longest second of my life. "I don't know," she finally said. "I don't know what to believe." And that was it. That was the moment Ashley won round 1. Hazel set her engagement ring on my workbench with a tiny metallic click that somehow echoed louder than any scream. "I'm done listening," she said. "I'm done with this. I can't marry someone capable of this. I'm not capable of anything," I whispered. "I didn't do anything." She nodded once, like someone accepting an unpleasant truth. "That's what they all say." Then she walked out. And just like that, my life collapsed the same way it had when I was 17. Fast. Unfair. And without a single person giving me the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. Hazel leaving wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that I felt 17 again, alone, powerless, ashamed. Which made one thought crystal clear. I refused to feel that way ever again. Ashley wanted to blackmail me? Fine. She had no idea she just opened the door to the last chapter of her own life. Because this time, I wasn't walking away. I was going to take everything she'd built out of lies and burn it to the ground. The night Hazel walked out, something inside me flipped. Not snapped. Not broke. Flipped. Like a switch that had been waiting 13 years for someone stupid enough to hit it. I didn't cry. Didn't chase her. Didn't beg. I just stood there in the silence of my garage, surrounded by half-repaired laptops, the ring she'd left behind, and all the invisible weight I'd been dragging since I was a teenager, and thought, never again. I wasn't going to be the scared kid sleeping in his Civic. I wasn't going to let a liar tear down everything I'd built. I wasn't going to sit there and let the world decide who I was. If Ashley wanted a war, she was going to get the kind that left craters. But I wasn't going in blind. Not again. So I started with evidence. Every bank statement from 2010 I could dig up online. Every email I'd ever archived. Old employment logs from the auto shop. Class schedules. Anything that put me physically somewhere other than where Ashley had claimed. Then I pulled up her social media. I wasn't prepared for what I found. Ashley had basically turned her entire life into one long, messy, desperate monologue. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, every account was an overflowing scrapbook of self-pity. She wasn't just struggling. She was drowning. 2 kids from 2 different dads, either paying child support. Eviction notices she'd posted about for sympathy. Screenshots of debt collectors she blurred out except for the parts that made her the victim. Passive-aggressive posts about how some people should step up and help their family. Photos of her at bars, with different guys, then weeks of silence, then more crying selfies. She was a walking red flag convention. But the most important thing? She had a pattern. Whenever she messed up, she made herself the victim. Whenever she lost something, she blamed someone else. Whenever she was cornered, she lied. Seeing all of this laid out across 13 chaotic years didn't make me pity her. It made me furious. Because buried in all those selfies and sob posts was the proof she had never, not once, felt guilty for what she did to me. She had simply moved on. Lied. Thrived on attention. Got bored. Moved on again. Meanwhile, I'd spent years rebuilding, doubting myself, carrying her shadow. Not anymore. I called the smartest person I knew, Liam, my first employee and a forensic tech wizard I'd taken under my wing when he was 18. When he answered, I didn't sugarcoat it. I need forensic analysis of some images. Old screenshots. I need to prove they're fake. There was a pause. This about your cousin? He asked. Yeah. Send them. I forwarded the screenshots Ashley had sent Hazel, the same ones she'd shown my parents back in 2010. 3 days later, Liam called back with a tone that immediately told me everything I needed to hear. Dude, these aren't just fake, they're the sloppiest fakes I've ever seen. He walked me through it. Timestamp font wrong for 2010 iPhones. Battery icon wrong year entirely. Compression pattern showing multiple layers of editing. Incorrect number formatting for the state at the time. Artifacts consistent with text generator apps popular in 2012 to 2014. In other words, Ashley had forged evidence so badly she might as well have signed her name on it. Can you put all that into a full report? I asked. Already done, he said. Annotated. Professional. Court ready. Perfect. But evidence alone wasn't enough. Ashley was slippery. She'd lie, twist, deny, cry, whatever she needed to survive. I needed something airtight. I needed her on record. I researched the law. Texas equals one-party consent. Meaning if I knew the conversation was being recorded, that was all that mattered. So I bought a digital recorder shaped like a pen. Tested it a dozen times. Practiced keeping a casual tone. Rehearsed questions that would get her comfortable enough to brag. Then I called her from a burner phone. It's Walter. We need to meet. You realized I was serious? She asked, smug. Yeah. Noon tomorrow. Do hermanos on McDowell. Come alone. She agreed instantly. Because she thought she'd won. Because she thought I was scared. Because Ashley had no idea she was walking straight into the trap she'd set for me 13 years ago. This time, I wasn't the one getting ambushed in my living room. I was the one setting the stage. And she had no clue the next 24 hours were going to be the beginning of the end of her entire life. I got to the restaurant 30 minutes early. Picked the back corner booth, good acoustics, low foot traffic, easy angles for the recorder. I slid the pen onto the table next to the menu, hit record with my thumb, and pretended to scroll my phone like nothing was happening. I'd been calm all morning. Too calm. Like my brain hadn't caught up with the fact that I was about to confront the person who detonated my life. Ashley walked in at 12:05. And I swear, in that moment, I felt absolutely nothing. No rage. No fear. No grief from the kid she'd destroyed. Just clarity. She looked rough. Not in a mean way, just factual. Stress-aged. Sleep-deprived. Thinner than she should have been. Wearing clothes that tried hard to look expensive but weren't. 13 years had not been kind. She slid into the booth, giving me a tight little smile like this was a negotiation between two professionals. "So," she said, "you came around." "I'm considering it," I said. "But I need to understand a few things." She flipped her hair like she was starring in some reality TV confrontation. "Fire away." "Oh, I was going to." "What made you come after me now?" I asked. She shrugged. "I told you. I'm broke. Kids are expensive. Dads are trash. Rent's insane. You're doing well." It made sense. "And the blackmail?" She smiled, actually smiled. "I kept those screenshots all these years, Walter. I always knew I could use them if I needed to. The recorder captured every syllable." "How'd you even make them?" I asked. She perked up like she was proud of the craft. "There was this app back then," she said. "You could fake text conversations. Make it look like anyone said anything. I used it for pranks sometimes. Didn't think it'd ever matter. Must have taken a while to do," I said, voice casual. "Oh, it did," she said, actually laughing. "Took like 2 hours to make them look real. But it worked. Worked." She said it like she'd pulled off a magic trick. "And you never felt guilty?" She paused, thinking. "I mean, a little. Sometimes. But you landed on your feet, right? You're fine. Better than fine. You ruined my life at 17. She waved her hand like I was being dramatic. "Oh my God, Walter. You're successful now. It made you tougher. You should honestly be grateful." The pen recorder picked up the exact moment my jaw clenched. "But look," she continued, leaning in like we were sharing a secret. "This doesn't have to get ugly. Just give me the money. 50,000. Yep. And if I don't?" She leaned back, folding her arms. "Then Hazel gets everything. Your employees. Your clients. I might even talk to the cops. Tell them I'm finally brave enough to come forward." "You'd lie to the police?" She grinned. "I already lied to everyone else. What's one more?" The calm in my voice surprised even me. "What about your kids?" I asked. She shrugged again. "They're the reason I'm doing this. A mom does what she has to do." I stared at her. "You understand I could ruin you for this?" "No, you can't," she said confidently. "Nobody would believe you over a single mom with a traumatic past. You never talk about your family. You look shady on paper. I'd win." She honestly believed that. She honestly, truly believed she was untouchable. So I ended it. Right there. Right then. I leaned forward. "Ashley, I've been recording this entire conversation." Her face went dead white. "It's legal. Texas is a one-party consent state. Everything you just said? Every detail about the fake screenshots? Every threat? Every admission? I've got it." She swallowed hard. You wouldn't." "Oh, I would," I said. "And here's how this goes." I held up one finger. 1. You are going to write a full confession. On your public Facebook. On your Instagram. Everywhere. Explaining how you faked everything. How you lied. How you ruined my life at 17. Second finger. 2. You're going to send that confession to my parents, your parents, the entire family, and Hazel. Third finger. 3. You're going to do it now. before you leave this table. She stared at me like she was drowning. You can't make me. I leaned back, voice calm as ice. Option 2, I filed charges. Defamation. Blackmail. Harassment. I send your confession to CPS. I send the evidence to the cops. I send everything to anyone who might employ you. I shrugged. And considering your life is already on fire? This will finish you. She broke. Completely. Hands shaking, tears streaming, not the fake kind, the real. I finally hit the end of the road. Kind, she pulled out her phone. I'll post it. She whispered. Please, Walter. Please don't do anything else. I watched her type. Every sentence. Every admission. Every detail of the lies she told 13 years ago. And when it was done, I made her hit post. Then I made her send it to the family group chat. Her phone started blowing up instantly. Notifications exploding. Comments flooding in. Her parents calling her. My parents demanding my number. Friends unfollowing her in real time. I stood up. This is the last conversation we will ever have, I said. Then I walked out. And Ashley, once the golden child, was left alone in a booth, staring at the wreckage she'd created with her own hands. The same way she once left me in ruins. Ashley's confession spread faster than gossip in a small-town church lobby. I didn't even have to lift a finger. Her entire world collapsed organically, like a rotten structure finally giving in under its own weight. By the time I got home from the restaurant, my phone was buzzing non-stop, family calls, unknown numbers, notifications from accounts I didn't recognize. I ignored all of it. Instead, I opened Ashley's public Facebook post. There it was. A 20-paragraph confession detailing exactly how she faked the screenshots, why she lied, how she'd framed me, how she'd blackmailed me now, and how she'd felt. No guilt at the time. The comments section? An absolute slaughter. Her friends. How could you do this? OMG Ashley, what the hell? You ruined someone's life for a boy. Her exes. This explains a lot. Random classmates. I always knew something was off about you. Even her volleyball coach from high school chimed in. You owe that boy your entire life. Within hours, the post was screenshotted and shared everywhere. Reddit threads, community groups, old school pages. Ashley had successfully gone viral, just not in any way she wanted. Then the fallout began. 1. Her employer fired her. A med spa doesn't exactly want known liar who files false assault claims at their front desk. The email leaked online. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated due to conduct that may negatively impact the business. Cold. Corporate. Beautiful. 2. Her landlord issued an eviction notice. Turns out she was already 3 months behind. The confession was the push he needed. 30 days to vacate. She posted a crying selfie about losing everything. But the comments weren't exactly sympathetic. 3. CPS showed up. Not because of me. Because someone, probably several someones, sent in the confession as part of a report. CPS doesn't ignore cases involving proven false accusations, blackmail, and unstable home environments. Her kids were placed temporarily with her parents. Ashley tried to post a rant about it. Her own mother commented, "Take responsibility for once in your life." Ouch. 4. My parents reached out. My voicemail lit up with messages I never thought I'd hear. My mom sobbing, "We failed you, honey. We failed you so badly. Please call us." My dad, voice broken in a way I'd never heard. "I believed her. I chose wrong. I threw you away. I'm sorry. Please, give me a chance to fix this." For a moment, just a moment, I felt that old ache. That part of me that still remembers what it felt like to be 17, terrified, abandoned. But forgiveness isn't an obligation. And apologies offered 13 years too late don't reattach what was torn apart. I deleted their voicemails. No anger. Just finality. 5. Hazel came back. 4 days after the explosion, Hazel knocked on my door. I was in the garage, organizing tools, trying to reclaim some normalcy. She stood there with swollen eyes, holding her phone like a peace offering. "Walter," she whispered. "I saw the confession." I didn't answer. "I'm sorry," she said. "I should have believed you. I was wrong." "That's the thing," I said. "You weren't unsure. You didn't hesitate. You believed her instantly." She swallowed. I panicked. "No," I said. "You judged. I picked up a screwdriver, set it into the toolbox. You saw something messy and ugly and you ran. You didn't even ask me what happened. You just decided." She stepped closer. "Can we fix this?" I shook my head. "You didn't just leave," I said softly. "You looked me in the eye and called me broken." Her face crumpled. "Walter! We're done, Hazel." I didn't shout. Didn't slam anything. Didn't curse. I just told the truth. She pressed the engagement ring, again, onto my workbench. Then she left for good. 6. Ashley hit rock bottom. No job. No home. Kids not allowed with her. Friend group gone. Reputation obliterated online and offline. Every potential employer Googled her name and immediately found the confession. The internet never forgets. She tried deleting it once. I reposted screenshots within minutes and sent them to her entire friend group. If she wanted to ruin me twice, she could live with the truth forever. 7. Me? I was finally free. For the first time since I was 17, the weight on my chest was gone. The shadow Ashley had cast over my entire life finally disintegrated. My electronics business was thriving. I'd expanded. Hired new people. Contracts were rolling in. I'd even started restoring classic cars, a hobby that accidentally became another revenue stream. For the first time in my life, I wasn't surviving. I was living. And Ashley? She'd become a cautionary tale told in whispers. Don't be like her. Remember what happened when she lied. Justice didn't come from the system. Or the family. Or anyone else. It came because I built myself into someone who could deliver it. And I wasn't done. I still had one final move. 6 months after everything had blown up, life had finally settled into something that felt quiet. Not peaceful. Not triumphant. Just quiet. My business was booming. The car restoration venture had turned into a second income stream. My house felt bigger without Hazel's things cluttering the dresser. My name, once dragged through mud, was finally clean. Ashley had gone silent. Her social media was basically abandoned. Her parents were raising her kids while she bounced between couch surfing and temporary work. Her confession, the one she posted at that restaurant, had been shared so many times that it was now screenshot curated into Top 10 Insane Storytime Videos on TikTok. She couldn't escape it. I wasn't thinking about her anymore. Not until the letter came. A physical letter. Handwritten. Unfamiliar return address. I almost threw it away. But something made me open it. Inside was a folded sheet of notebook paper and something else. Something small, white, creased at the edges. A photo. Of me. 17-year-old me. Smiling awkwardly at a family barbecue. Holding a plate of ribs. Ashley, age 15, standing next to me. Smiling. The handwriting on the letter was shaky. It wasn't Ashley's. It was her mother's. My aunt. Walter. I know we are the last people you want to hear from. I know we don't deserve forgiveness, or even your time. But I need you to understand what's been happening on our end. Ashley is not well. And I don't mean financially or socially. I mean mentally. 2 weeks ago, she tried to take her own life. She survived. Barely. She has been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and severe depression. Her doctor believes the lying and manipulative behavior started years ago as coping mechanisms she never learned to control. This does not excuse what she did to you. It does not erase the damage. But she asked us to send you this letter? She said she could never face you herself? She told her therapist that you were the one person she owed the truth, the real truth, not the performance she posted online. She said you were the only one she ever truly felt guilty for hurting. She asked us to send you that old photo. She kept it all these years. She said you were the only cousin who ever treated her kindly. I don't expect anything from you. Not forgiveness. Not contact. Not even a reply. I just wanted you to know the truth. We are taking care of the kids permanently now. They are safe. And for what it's worth, we are sorry. So sorry. Marie. Asterisk asterisk. I stared at that letter for a long time. Not angry. Not satisfied. Just stunned. Ashley. The girl who ruined my life. Who tried to do it again. Who laughed while I cried. Who turned the entire town against me. Had tried to end her own life. And kept a photo of us for 13 years. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I didn't forgive her. But something inside me softened. For the first time since I was 17, I didn't picture her as a monster. I pictured her as a broken person who'd hurt others because she didn't know how to exist in her own skin. I sat there, holding that letter, that old photo, thinking about everything. The nights in my Civic. The strangers who saved me when family wouldn't. The years of loneliness. The success I built from nothing. The life I carved out after everyone left me to rot. And now this? A tragedy layered on the ruins of another tragedy. I didn't call my aunt. Didn't write back. Didn't visit Ashley. Didn't send money. Didn't offer forgiveness. Some wounds don't heal. Some people don't get another chance. And some parts of the past stay exactly where they belong, behind us. But I kept the photo. Not out of sentiment. But because it reminded me of something important. I survived. I rebuilt. I won. Not with violence or malice, but with truth and the life I created without them. Ashley's story ended in tragedy. Mine didn't have to. 3 months later, I was working in the garage when my phone buzzed. A text from a number I didn't recognize. A photo. Of a little girl, maybe 4 years old, missing a front tooth, holding a crayon drawing that said, "Thank you, Uncle Walter, for helping my mommy tell the truth." I froze. Then another message appeared. "This is Ashley's therapist. She wanted her daughter to send this. Ashley is in treatment. It will be a long road. But she wanted you to know she's trying now. Really trying." I stood there for a long time. Not happy. Not sad. Just human. Then I texted back. "I'm glad she's getting help. Take care of her." That was it. Not forgiveness. Not reconciliation. Just a small truth spoken without anger. A final punctuation mark on a story that had dictated far too much of my life. And that's where I leave it. Not with revenge. Not with ruin. But with reality. Some people break and stay broken. Some break and rebuild. And some break others because it's the only way they know how to survive. Ashley's life didn't end the way she tried to write it. Mine didn't either.